Well, right before this Christmas break, it seems like we got a few things to talk about. We have Sony finally releasing some plates now. We also have some new Splinter Cell information, and Peter Molyneux getting into NFTs. We got some things to talk about. So let's get into it.
I got you me.
Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast. This is episode 82. I'm your host, Gali Savin, and of course, I have these two young fellas with me, Mark Araya and Sir Knight. What is good, my fellas? What's going on?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Fellas?
How was you guys this week?
My week was good. It was busy, but a little closer to the holidays, so I'm excited to see family and friends. How was your guys' week so far?
Yeah, mine was busy too, man. Like this is the last week of school before we go on winter break, and so I was trying to get lots of stuff done. I'm happy to kind of be over. I probably still maybe got a couple of things I might need to do during the break, but for the most part, I'm off, man. So it's nothing but smiles over here.
Nice, man. Yeah, man. My week wasn't really too busy. It was actually the most boring fucking week I've had in a long time. I was just counting the clock. I was just steady looking at the time, waiting to get done with that damn week so I could finally be on break. Decided to take a few days off before like my regular work schedule break and stuff like that. So I'm officially off work for like 2 weeks. So I'm just fucking I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling.
I'm pumped, dude. I'm pumped.
As far as like the games or whatever, since I had some time and whatnot, I've basically been on that Halo campaign for like the whole time. Yeah, I've been playing it pretty tough. Like I'm enjoying it. It's definitely not what I feared it was gonna be, Ray. With that plane taking off and starting a new mission.
So, man, I didn't think so.
Yeah, so after that part, I was able to. It basically allowed me to summon a warthog or a mongoose or whatever, and then start exploring. So I just been going through, and then just doing that. It seems like there's like a little area to go into, and they kind of force you to like do the story and whatnot so that you can kind of like keep progressing and stuff, like if you want to get to a certain area and everything. I feel like the Spartan cores are like really spaced out. Like at first I thought like, oh, I'm gonna get like a shit ton of Spartan cores and load up, but then they started to thin out. Like after you get out of that like first little main area, then it starts to thin out. So it's kind of like they say like, hey, beef up your grappling hook, beef up your shield a little bit. Yeah, dude, the grappling hook is nice, man.
Dude. That thing is amazing.
I don't know about you. Like, Ray, have you played Halo campaign like past what we had talked about last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as far as you guys have, but I played it. I played a few more main missions, and I just finished. I got a little bit past. I did like another mission or two past killing the invisible guy with the sword.
Oh, in the tower?
Okay. All right. And then what about you, Mark? You played like a whole lot?
I'm about where Gali Sarvin is too.
Okay.
Where you are, Gali? Where are you at?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Sir Knight. I passed the tower with the invisible dude.
Oh, okay, so you're about where I'm at. Okay.
And I just been exploring, trying to get all of the. How do you pronounce it? The Mojir.
Yeah, Mojir.
I'm trying to get all the cosmetics because it's cool because you can use them in multiplayer. So
that's all they're good for. That's what I was kind of like, disappointed in. It's like, okay, I guess they want you to play through the campaign, but I'm like, I'm never going to use these bitches. Like, I'm not putting these suits on because I'm not playing multiplayer. So this is kind of like, it was like pointless for me. Yeah, I know it's probably more solid or whatever than like Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever, but like I'm just not a big fan of the multiplayer. So to me, the Mjolnir shits, like I just if I'm by them, I'll get them, but I'm not going out my way to find them shits on the map. You know what I mean? Because they don't serve me no value as far as the campaign is concerned. So I just don't even waste my time with them.
I cannot stand, man, that I'm stuck with two weapons. Like it bothers me so much.
It sucks. It's rough, dude. Because
so antiquated.
I'm still getting ammo stars. So now I end up like Yeah, I'm just like, fuck it, dude. I just toss a weapon. Once that bitch is empty, I'm grabbing a new one. And I'm just running around the map. Whatever, grappling hook that shit into my hand and switch it out and, and start busting because I'm going to die. I'm going to die trying to keep my shit. Like, I just can't hang with it.
Like, I think that whole 2-weapon thing is actually probably a pretty solid point for, like, multiplayer. But I don't like it for a campaign mode. I wish it was a little bit more RPG for a campaign mode. I think I like the notion of like switching your gameplay on the fly for multiplayer. I just don't know if I feel like that should still be a thing in a campaign. Just bothers me.
I would even
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would even have liked it if it was something similar to like Resident Evil, where you had like a backpack size, and you just had to fit all of your weapons in the bag. You know what I mean? So like you can only carry a certain amount of things, like the weapons and the grenades or something like that. But like I'm limited. That they kind of give you like maybe like 4 different type of ranged things, like like a couple of grenades of different types or whatever. But I was gonna ask you guys like as far as like your secondary thing, your RB, your grappling hook, do you use like the thrusters or the shield wall or anything like that, or do you just use a grappling hook, or have you guys even gotten any of those?
For me, the grappling hook is so OP. I'm using all my upgrades on the grappling hook. It's just like, dude, it's when I lower the cooldown, when I stun people, it's just longer range. Like, it's so good, man. Like, because the only guns I use, I haven't had any ammo starving issue. I use the mangler and I use a sniper.
That's the one I was telling you about.
So you use the pistol?
The revolver. It's like a revolver.
Because it just takes, you only need to kill anything pretty much. It takes 1 bullet from the mangler and a melee, because the mangler does a little bit more melee damage. It has a blade. Yeah. So what I do is for like brutes or any hard enemy, I grappling it to stun it. I get 1 headshot and 1 melee by the time I'm close enough, and I kill anything with 1 bullet. So I love that combo. And then my secondary is a sniper, because I love snipers in mostly all games. So if I'm going into a base, I'll just pick off the like if there's someone on a tower or someone high up, I'll pick everybody off, and then I'll just go in with the mangler and destroy everyone. So, but I would say.
Go ahead, Mark.
My final thing is, I kind of wish that there was maybe an upgrade tree to kind of upgrade your arsenal, maybe to have a 3rd weapon, higher ammo reserves, more grenades, but it might trivialize some of the boss fights. That's the only thing I could say, because unless they added really cool mechanics, the boss fights are just kind of in this game, in my opinion. But
I think that would be a good answer to what I'm trying to say. Is like, I think like so I like the mangler too, and sniper rifle sounds good too, but I like having an energy weapon, But
yeah, I use the energy sniper.
Yeah, the energy sniper. That's what I had to on my offhand as well. So those are the exact 2 weapons I used. And I use the grappling hook to stun, and I put every point in the grappling hook to decrease the cooldown. I want it to be almost like every enemy. I can just kind of like stun, kill, and it's like, wow, this is crazy. But I just feel like I get burnt out because there's nothing else except to just shoot the same guns. And I wish there was just a little bit more depth, whether that be what Mark just suggested, like a talent tree. Like, so for instance, in BioShock, I really liked the shotgun, but it was really fun because I could upgrade it, and it added new ways of using the gun. It just made it more enjoyable to continue using that same gun. Like, to ask me to keep using the same gun for like the whole game is just like it's almost like a slog to kind of like get through a campaign when there's nothing fun like that to also kind of push me along. Or give me a bigger arsenal, like what Mike Godley was saying, where I can like look through my bag and swap arsenal and try and and save it, and for later and pull it out later for a different situation. I would like that, like, because the bosses, like, they're kind of a little bit of a coin flip on how they'll be. Like, the first boss was a little bit more of a brute head on. The second boss was like, he was in the shadows, invisible. I would probably change the weapon type that I use versus those bosses, but I'm kind of stuck with kind of what I went in there with, or whatever weapon happens to be on the ground. At the time, it's like, it would have been cool if I had like some guns I had saved from the past to use in there, but it's just, I don't know. I'm not happy with that model for a campaign. I'm not happy with that model, which is I think the same exact problem with Call of Duty. I think they did the same exact thing. They give you no variety. They give you no nothing to chase. It's just they rely too heavily on their shooting. That's fun, but there's just nothing else to chase, which is why I just prefer I prefer Destiny. I'd rather play Destiny 2, like if I'm
all
gonna
those cool guns, and then you can just like choose to put like all of your time into like one gun and have that one like dope for you or whatever. But you have options.
Yeah, I
So
love having options, man. It's like, oh, cool. I'm gonna try this exotic for a little while. Or I'm gonna do this exotic for a while, or this gun loadout for a while. I don't know. I just prefer that.
yeah, I've been having fun with the game, but for me it's like you have to almost pay attention like where you're gonna run into, because it's like sometimes I've gone into a boss fight and I'm just kind of stuck with like two random guns that I picked up, and it's like I gotta do what I gotta do with these.
That's what I'm
so
saying,
I gotta
bro.
make it work. So
Yeah.
I've the hard light guns have been like one of the more fun like guns for me. Like they seem to hit hard, so I really like them. And then like I'll use the bulldog sometimes, or I really liked the that one little rocket launcher or grenade launcher, whatever, that I told you guys about a while back. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a cool little gun to have. But now it's just like I try to just get like whatever weapon. I'm just out there on the field, like, and if I can ride like a ghost or something like that, that's what I'm on. Because I don't have to worry about loading, reloading, or anything like that. I could just wipe out. Yeah, I could just wipe out a whole field with that. I think there was like an area where I had like these two like I guess Spartan killers or something like that, and like I was just on the ghost the whole time, and I was able to just like keep maneuvering. They was shooting the shit out of everything around me, but the ghost is real versatile, so you could just slide and slink your way through the fields, and I was able to just chop them down slowly but surely. But yeah, there's like some other enemies where I feel like your time is just so consumed, and then it's like next thing you know, like I'm relying on the coils that are on the ground. Like I'm picking up all of them shits just so I can throw them, because I need some type of ammo to throw at these guys till I find one of the guns that's on the floor.
Hey, so do you melee at all? Do you melee at all when you're fighting?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, I be meleeing, but melee don't kill everything. Like sometimes for them other fathead dudes, you got to kind of pump into them or whatever, or you might have to hit them twice. Sometimes they take some extra shots. I'm not doing headshots every time, so I don't know if y'all just mean with the aim, just headshotting every time. But like it takes some work for me to put them
Not
down
every time, but I do aim for the head, especially with the angler. Like
I'll be trying
to
to
hit
aim
the head pretty good, but yeah, it's not 100%. No, of course not. I'm not 100% at the head, but that's why I like it. That's why I like the mangler, because I feel like it's the quickest time to kill.
The mangler,
if you get the head shots, so it's less forgiving. Like other guns are more forgiving. You can kind of like be sporadic with your aim or whatever. But if you rewarded with the mangler, like if you get those headshots, and you can just kind of like mow through guys pretty quickly.
Yeah, but like kind of like what Mark said, like I just wish it had some type of a talent tree, where you can do like faster reloading for like certain types of weapons, or where it allows you to carry one extra weapon as like a bonus for going down a certain part of the tree or something. Something like I've gotten all 4 of the different suit upgrades that you could get, like that just basically give you another option for your RB button. But the only one that I like using is the grappling hook. That bitch helps me traverse the land like fast as fuck. And then it's just real versatile. I just link into somebody that gets shot. I run up, gun butt him in the face, and then and keep going. And it's got like a quick recharge rate, so I can just keep hitting folks. I can climb up a big ass mountain. I'm on some like Link type shit. Breath of the Wild. I just grapple hook, I fall down a little bit
Yeah.
and recharge. I grapple hook some more. You know what I mean? I just keep
Dude,
climbing.
I feel like
till I get to where
Spider-Man
I gotta go.
sometimes, dude. I feel like
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
playing Spider-Man because I'm literally using it like a web slinging on every enemy, you know?
Yeah, and it's nice too, cause like you could grapple hook below an edge, and it'll just keep pulling you
And
up,
it'll
and then
propel you, the physics, you're like,
the momentum will just send you up a little bit. And you bloop right over the edge. It's just start running, you know, and just get into the gunfights and stuff. So
it's so
that's just fun.
It's a
But
little silly. It's a little silly. Like it's
well,
just
it's because it's
interesting.
low gravity on that shit. So you just,
Yeah.
you know, you just flying. But yeah, but I mean, if I could just do something to like make my ammo capacity higher, or to allow me to like reload my weapons, like, you know, twice as fast,
I will say
or
though
something like that,
the
more
like
damage to my guns.
one quality of life change they made was I do remember in past Halos for energy weapons you had to pick up a new energy weapon. There was no ammo to pick up. Where like the kinetic weapons in past, if you just run over them, you pick the ammo up. But you actually had to throw away your energy weapon and pick up a new energy weapon. This one, they actually, if you run over the same weapon, they actually recharge your energy weapon. So I was like, oh, that's really interesting, because that was never part of the old Halos. So I appreciate that, which is one reason why I like running around with like one, you know, kinetic and one energy, because you could just kind of like you could just keep them forever, really.
Yeah.
Like they're really like I'm not really running too much into the same problem you are, Godly. I pretty much confined it, like, because it's like when a brute drops their gun, it's like your whole entire reserve is filled. Like it's a lot of rounds they give you, you know.
But I be stealing the brute's gun as soon as they drop them shits.
That's the mangler gun. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because I'm talking
Primarily.
about like the big ass ones with all the shielding on them that take that one gun that like pumps out like 3 or 4 shots. That one. There's like another hard light. There's like 2 hard light guns. One's a shotgun.
I need more game. I need more than just gameplay, man. Like in my games, I just need more than that.
Yeah, I would like a little solid character development.
Yeah, exactly.
If I could develop my dude, if I could make Master Chief a little bit more boss. You know, I feel like all of those shield upgrades wasn't really shit. Like I feel like they was cool, but they wasn't really like doing it for me. You know what I mean? They
Dude, I was feeling that way, like
invincible or whatever.
When I saw the other options, like you mentioned the shield and stuff, I was like, dude, like I feel like once I get enough things to max this grappling hook out, this is just going to be no more fun to collect these Spartan things, because I don't care about the other things. So it's like the fun's now over. The hunt is over.
Exactly.
They didn't do a good enough job, man, making the other suit upgrades fun.
Yeah.
I like trying to collect the cosmetics because it's really dope using them in multiplayer. The poses are pretty cool. The poses are pretty dope. You know, the armor, the shaders are cool. I got like a blue camouflage one that was pretty sick looking. So I don't know. I really like the collecting aspect. It has me going around the map. I'm trying to complete every.
I totally can understand that from a multiplayer perspective, but I just don't really play multiplayer, so it's zero.
There's one thing though that I think trivializes the game that I really don't like. So when I push Z, hey, what's up, Anthony? Dude, but when I push Z on the keyboard, I don't know what it is on the controller because I just play on the PC. But when you do the scan, dude, that like kind of trivializes the game to me. I hate it because you could see everything.
You can find everything.
And the collectibles, they're a different color. So I literally, I used to like look on the map, but I just push Z. I'm like, I can see through walls. Like it's a little bit too overpowered, dude. And you don't even need to pay attention to the story. You just push Z. Boom, all the objectives are orange. You see the little lines. I'm like, all right. So at first I was like trying to listen, trying to figure it out, but now I'm just like spamming that button. I think Ray might have said that before. He was spamming it just to see where the markers were going. But yeah, dude, that's a little. I don't think that it should show you collectibles in it. You know, in my opinion.
I don't mind that, dude.
I thought the cooldown should be a little longer on it.
Yeah,
the cooldown should be. You can spam the shit out of that.
You could just you could do it 100%.
I don't mind the sonar or whatever showing you some of the stuff at, because it kind of just helps you find it quicker and then just move on. But I mean, you normally hear that little pinging sound when you're like close by something or whatever. But no, it does it for like the audio logs and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah,
I haven't found one skull yet, man. I've been through 3 of them main areas and stuff like that, and I haven't found not one skull. But I saw that when you have the skulls, if you use a skull, it stops like all of your achievements or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, I don't need it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just finish the game without it. But
I just
if I
collected
haven't
just
come
for
across
fun.
one, I come across one. But
Yeah.
Are you guys
yeah,
playing anything else?
As far as right now, I haven't had anything else really to play, you know, because I ransacked all those things. Dude, I didn't buy Kenna yet, man. I needed to buy Kenna.
Yeah,
Did you get it on the PSN sale that $27 or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you told me about that, I went and snagged it.
You would scoop that shit up quick.
I mean, I would have paid $40 for it, like we said. So when I could get it for $27, I was like, that's a no-brainer for me.
Right. I think I might try to scoop it up
week.
after I finish Halo up. But have you played it at all?
Yeah.
How you like
it? A few hours into it.
Okay.
I like it. It's really good. It's really beautiful. It's actually really close. It's really close. It's not quite though, but it's really close to AAA quality from an indie studio. It's just lacking in some areas. Like the combat is a little bit uninspired. It's it's just kind of boring a little bit. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It's a little bit of a mess when it comes to like all the different little things that you can do to interact with the world. I wish it was more Pikmin-like.
I thought it was. It's not. It's
not as Pikmin as I wish it was. Like the little guys. I mean, maybe I'm not far enough into the game yet, but I feel like I could just play the whole game if I wanted with just my staff hitting everything. Like I don't really even need to use the guys.
Oh, so they're not. I
have to use the guys to cleanse the zone, but when I'm like fighting and interacting, I don't really have to use. I honestly don't have to. Like I can, but it's not necessary at all. Like I could just basically dodge and attack, and you hit really hard. So I don't know. I just feel like the little guys aren't utilized as much as they could. Like they're adorable, they're well designed, interesting characters in the world. I think they utilize them well as far as like when they pop up in the world and stuff. It's really imaginative. Just them being utilized in the gameplay is pretty lacking. And like they have like there's like this flower that blooms, and then you can make your guys go to like their primal form, and then in that primal form you can like break down some of the corruption or whatever. But I'm like, in my mind, it's like that seems unnecessary. Just make the guys be able to break down the corruption, like give them ability that I have to earn. And I'm not the biggest fan on how like you level up in the game. Like you get no experience, nothing from combat. So it's another one of those games where you like you're not rewarded at all for combat. You're basically rewarded for just exploring only, just exploring. So when you explore and you find another little rot, partner, that's like an experience point. And like, that's how you level up. And it's like, dude, man, I would have rather, and also there's like multiple different currencies. So the little dudes are like your experience. You find them under rocks and stuff. Then you find like chests that have like little cosmetics for your dudes, hats.
Right.
Like every chest is basically hats. So there's like nothing for you.
So it's nothing that makes them stronger. It's just
it doesn't make them stronger. It's just purely cosmetic.
Okay.
And then there's like crystals that you can collect. And you're like, oh, yeah, I crap ton of crystals. When can I use these? Like, come to find out, pretty much all you can use them on is just to buy those cosmetic hats. And then there's karma. So whenever you like feed your little guys, or whenever you fix like a broken statue, that gives you good karma, and then that's like your points for like your talents. So you can dump your karma into talents. So that's the way. So like it's just there's not enough meat there when it comes to, once again, like the RPG elements that I wish there was a little bit more meat there. But the world, and it's also, I feel like it's a tease, man. Like right when I got like through the first zone and like you kind of see the world, you almost get like a little excited, like, oh dude, is this gonna be like a nice wide open world that I can kind of like just explore? And it's not. It's pure.
It's linear as fuck.
Yeah.
Damn.
Pretty much, dude. Like linear. Just
so maybe they just all about the story. So does it have a good story at least?
Nah. The story is really lame. So what's good about it? The sound, the music,
The artwork,
the visuals just beautiful. For an indie game, the visuals are incredible. I think we
Okay.
were right to pick that one in our when we were going through.
Yeah.
I think
The
that is
visuals.
incredible. What they were able to do visually for an indie game is just incredible.
Nice.
But in other areas, it's just mediocre. But it is very pretty, so it is fun to run through the world. Like I look forward to just looking at it again. And the character models are really, really pretty as well. Like Kenna is just, an incredibly well built model. She's a likable character. But it's just, it's good, but it's not like a masterpiece like I was really hoping. But in some ways, it's beyond what it should be. It's beyond what it should be in some ways.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll eventually give it a go. You know what I mean, and get a chance to play it. Like I said, I'll probably end up playing it after I've finished up Halo. But I guess we'll have to see because I mean it's gonna be 2022, the year of a shit ton of games. So yeah, we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to pivot and adjust and see what ends up on my backlog or not. But yeah, man. So so like I said before, we got a lot of things to talk about on the list of stuff that we got. Just to let you guys know, we got the Patreon link is going to be somewhere in the description down below.
Talk about backlog, man. Like, I am so jealous after hearing how much you liked Village. I'm so bummed that I didn't get to play that this year.
Yeah, man. I mean, you still got time, bro. You got like a whole week before Christmas, man. And, it's a couple of days after that.
That's true. That's true.
I'm telling you, you could dedicate a whole weekend to finishing Biohazard and then another weekend right after that to 8. You know what I mean? To Village and knock them out. It's easy. Like I put like a solid like maybe 13 in each of them. So you know what I mean? You could do that a couple hours a day. But yeah. So for the first topic, let's go ahead and get into it. Splinter Cell. It looks like that remake got like a little trailer going for it, and this sucker looks like that's a Splinter Cell remake. There was something else. Wasn't there a new Splinter Cell game that they were talking about too?
Yeah. It's gonna be a remake of the original Splinter Cell.
Yeah. Okay. And then I know that there was some talks, rumors about it because Ubisoft is making it. That it was going to be like open world on some like Assassin's Creed type shit or something like that. But it seems like that those rumors aren't true, right?
No, they came out and said it's not going to be open world at all. So
unfortunately,
it's a linear game. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it might have been a little crazy, anyways, to have Splinter Cell, running around all over the world and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna
I'd be
ask
wondering
you,
how you would do that.
Yeah, how does that even work? How does a Splinter Cell game work in open world?
I don't know. I mean, Sam has never used a vehicle ever before. It's always new location drop-offs, you know what I mean? And then going to the next area. So I feel like maybe if your one mission had to deal with like a city or like a building, perhaps then maybe it'd be something different. But he's not Batman. He's not Spider-Man. You know what I mean? He's not web slinging across, a whole city or whatever.
He
So
doesn't
he'd have to
traverse
do everything
quickly.
on fit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a slow and meticulous kind of game. Yeah.
Right. So I feel like the only way to do it would be like some big ass building, and you're just taking down like a whole corporation or something like that. And you're basically like, it'd be like a tower climber or something, you work your way up, the floors or whatever. And maybe it's like a maze the way you got to do it. Or like, you turn it into like a Metroidvania or something, where you need certain items, you're kidnapped, you're put in the bottom of the tower in like a jail cell. You break your way out, and then you have to retrieve all of your gear that you used to have or something like that while you take out the people or something. I don't know. But I definitely couldn't see it really being like an open world like that. I mean, it'd be interesting because that would mean, or at least I would think it would mean a lot of gameplay with Splinter Cell. But at the same time, I think it would be too much.
No, I like the direction they're going. I think Splinter Cell is more of like a stealth puzzle solver than like an
Yeah, and the story
exploration.
or whatever.
It's not
Yeah.
about exploring, man. Like it's
Nah.
about trying to solve this puzzle. How do I get by all these guys? Like what can I do? And the developer said that the goal is to have every square inch of the level. Like that's crazy that they use the word square inch. That means
Yeah.
like almost every little aspect is something that you can directly make a choice or directly impact. So
That's
it's like
cool.
that's definitely more the direction that I think I would want them to go with this game.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it'll definitely be interesting to see like some updated game because this ain't the remake, right? If this was the remake, then this shit
They're
would
just
be just
talking
as
about the
bad as
original Splinter Cell and
right,
the changes they're going to make to it. They have no footage yet. They say
right,
it's in
right,
the
right.
earliest form of development right now. So
Okay,
they're
yeah, because if it
hiding
looked
for
like this, I'm like, God damn, this is GTA trilogy all over
No, this
again.
is the OG one. This is how the OG one looked.
Yeah, yeah, I figured that. So yeah, so it'll.
This is a sham, dude.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
this
a
is on the
fucking
Switch,
joke.
guys. Relax. This is on the Switch.
Oh, it's perfect. It'll run like a
60
beauty on the
FPS.
Switch. but it'll be definitely interesting to see finally like a more polished like idea or whatever going out, like some type of a trailer or something, or maybe a little bit of gameplay or whatever. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's been like a long ass time since I played these, so I probably wouldn't remember everything about it. I might remember some things, but more than likely I'm not gonna remember everything. But I hope they also price it accordingly. If it is if it's a remake, it should be like
full price.
a new story or something like that, right? If it's a remake. Now, if it's a remaster, that's something different.
Thing, though. A remake means like they're rebuilding it from the ground up. So
yeah. So that might be where it's like a regular, that might be like on Demon Souls type of territory or whatever.
Right, exactly.
So I'll have to see what it is then. But yeah, man.
Like
so let's go.
Dead Space remake, right?
Or yeah, exactly like the Dead Space remake.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. PlayStation is finally deciding to drop their damn plates, and it comes at the same time that they decide to open their catalog of controllers. I thought this was interesting because like mad podcasts ago, we had talked about like D-Brand doing their plates, motherfuckers on Etsy selling all kinds of different plates that they've 3D printed and stuff like that. And D-Branding had actually caught a lot of flack for their stuff because PlayStation sent them like a cease and desist. I think they tried to sue them. D-Branding was like, nah, F you. You don't have your shit patent. So then they said, we got our shit patent now. So you got to change your shit. So D-Branding was like, you ain't get us because we going to go ahead and like add fans on this bitch and take off a little tip, and round it off or whatever. And so they tried to play the game and they still was able to put out their revamped plates and stuff like that. But Sony's like, hey, man, we coming full force with it now. So you can get the matching controller and the plates. But you said you guys see them prices, man. It's like $50 for a set of plates.
$54.99. So I think that's okay. I think any more we're getting into kind of expensive pieces of plastic, but I think $55, $60 out the door after tax. I think that's reasonable in my opinion, personally.
I feel like that shit should have been $30, man. Or like a bundle set or something that you sell with
they
the
probably
controller.
will be $30, on sale and stuff. But
Ray, you gave me a look, bro. You think these shouldn't be $30 for some
30?
plastic plates?
No, I don't think 30. I think they're $5 overpriced. I would expect them to try to get 50 for these. I mean, if they're going to get $70 for a controller, then kind of entirely changing the way your PS5 looks for $50 makes sense to me. But
you're talking about a whole controller, though. You're talking about gadgets and gizmos and electricals, things and stuff like that. We're talking about face plates, bro, like 2 plastic pieces that you could just pop off and put on. And you talking about you cool with 50?
Not much different, right? In my mind, I have a controller right now. Why am I getting the red one? Strictly for color. That's just a plate. Like I'm going out and I'm buying a whole new controller, like strictly just to change the color of it. I feel like it's the same kind of concept.
Well, it would be different if like you buying a whole electronic item. So yeah, you bought it for the color, but it's its own electronic entity. Like it has power and all of that shit. It serves as a second controller for somebody else to play along with that other one that you originally got. This is it literally serves no purpose but to look. Regardless of the reason why you bought a controller, right? The controller serves a purpose besides just a look.
I
These
know,
plates hold no purpose
but it's like I feel
whatsoever.
like you just say what I'm trying to say. Um, because you said regardless of the reason why you buy a controller. I'm saying that's the whole. It's the same thing. It's the same branding. It shouldn't be regardless of the reason why. Like I'm just saying the reason why you buy the controller with the new color is for the color. And so in my mind, this is a similar thing. This is very similar to me. You want to buy your plates. This is even a bigger transformation in style than your new controller is. I don't know. I think 50 is fine when you're completely transforming the way your system looks.
Yeah, because you spend on decals in the past, decals for, let's say, a Switch for your dock and your console, or just any other, they always charge $30 for stickers for decals. So $50 ain't too bad. Do you guys remember that they used to sell authentic PS4 plates? Did you guys ever follow those? Whenever there was a game that came out, like Bloodborne or Little Big Planet, they had an official faceplate for sale. Do you guys remember those? They were only half of the console. They were only over the hard drive portion. Well, anyways, they used to sell those for $25 a pop, and they would always sell out. So
that's a reasonable price, $25.
I know, but consider this: it only covered 1/4 of the console. It was only that shiny part of the PS4 over the hard drive. This is the front and the back. So I think, I think.
But it was also because that panel was like quarter pieced, wasn't it? Like it was 2 pieces on the top and then a whole piece at the bottom, whatever, right?
Correct. So just for
it's like because it's so many different pieces, I could see them only selling you the one piece that like, hey, you take this off and move this, you don't really fuck up the system too much. But I mean, these are like 2 solid, slabs. Or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. The price makes sense to me because for 1/4 of your console, it was $25, and now it's the full top and bottom for $55. 10% of the console, roughly. I think that's a good price, in my opinion. So
yeah, and I think like kind of like what Mark is saying, like it's not about like function, right? It's about it's just the notion of transforming the way your console looks. Like that's what you're paying for. And I think a lot of people like cosmetics, man. Like people will buy a crappier car just because they like the way it looks more, or they like just the color. And it's like, yeah, but I feel like what Gali would be saying, yeah, but it has, an engine that's been rated poorly. Why would you want that? Because people really care a lot about how something looks. Like that's why people pay a lot more for the Jordan brand, when you're telling me that the Jordan brands probably don't cost a whole lot more to make. They probably cost a little bit more, but not a whole lot more to make than the Payless shoes, do in the Payless shoe store. But people are paying a whole heck of a lot more because it's a style. You're transforming the way something looks. So I'm excited because, like I said, I just feel like they are trying to fleece us like an extra $5. It just feels like, they're overpricing it just barely, and because it's just barely overpriced, we pay it. But they're definitely trying to squeeze, I think, every little dime they can, for absolutely sure. But 30 seems definitely low to me. 30 seems really cheap.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm the only one on this topic that feels like this is like way overpriced. But I mean, I guess it is what it is. Like I like the controllers and stuff like that, and having the other options and things. But I ended up buying 2 controllers already, so I'd have to like, for me, I'd be like, okay, well, I got to sell like one of my OG controllers to try to get one of these new controllers or something like that, because I don't necessarily have a need for 3 controllers or whatever. And for these plates, Like my PlayStation sits behind me. I rarely ever look at it. So that cosmetic customization that I did to it is gonna be enough for me. I wouldn't pay nothing over like $30 for this, maybe 35. So if I happen to catch a red one on like some Black Friday sale next year, then so be it. But if not, my shit gonna stay with the WLG tags on it because I just can't see paying 50. I see paying, unfortunately 60 or whatever something for a controller, because it's a controller. But it's just like damn, 50. But hey, to each their own. But
no, but
so all right.
But like what I'm saying is like, yeah, because you're buying a controller. I know it has more function, but
I feel like the price is justified because it is a controller. You know what I mean? Like a plastic faceplate being that much, almost as much as a game. Like, how? It just sits there. But
well, all for one is I wouldn't buy one of these ones. I'm gonna wait until they have artwork on them, like when they release, like what Marco I was talking about, when they release like God of War faceplates or
special
Spider-Man or something. Then
those
I'll
coming
buy
too.
those. I'll buy those.
Yeah,
maybe like a limited edition plate or something like that.
Hey, but just remember, guys, the D brand plates were $70. If you bought them early, they were $59.99. So
they're 70 now.
That's the original price. But if you bought them early, like they're on sale right now. I don't even think they're shipping all the colors, but the regular price for them is $70. And I remember when we looked at that, we didn't really bat too. I mean, I don't remember any of us saying that was too much or too little.
Shit, I don't remember even looking at a price. I just saw, hey, this motherfucker's making these plates. I didn't even look at the price, but I showed shit.
Interesting to me,
but these are cheaper than the third-party ones. So the third-party ones, I have a feeling they're gonna have to be $49.99, $30, like Golly said. Yeah, because why buy those when you can buy the official for only $55? So this is a smart.
Like, that's just strange to me. Like that's the way cosmetics always work in society. Like it's just a standard thing in the world. Like people pay a whole heck of a lot more for the Versace or Coach when it's not that much better than in a standard leather purse, but they'll spend hundreds of dollars more because of a look or a style, strictly for a look. Like this is nothing like that outrageous to me. Like this is exactly what cosmetics cost. T-shirts, shoes, they're all way overpriced. You're telling me the T-shirts that we buy in American Eagle or anywhere are worth what you're paying? No way. They're worth nothing. As far as like, if you want to talk about the internals, what's actually going into it, because I feel like that's the argument you're making. Like the controller is designed not to be something that's necessarily cosmetic. It's designed to be something that functions as a controller. These are meant to be like a purse. Like they're meant to be a big cosmetic change. A style that seems like standard in society to me.
I feel like the argument you're making is a little different because you're talking about like different brands and stuff like that. Like why is Hanes better than Fruit of the Loom or whatever when they the same type of stuff or something like that. But I'm saying like if there's like a backpack. And then you have the backpack, and then you have like a water bottle that you can buy from that same brand. And then you have a keychain that hangs on the backpack. The water bottle is $40 and the keychain is $35. Like you think that's like oh, that's cool. It's a keychain. It customizes my backpack. Like you think that's a logical thing? Like it's the water bottle hold water and shit.
That's the argument I'm making. The argument I'm making is that we overpay. We always overpay what something's worth if it's for cosmetic purposes.
Yeah, but you were talking about like American Eagle and then like I don't know if you said like Gucci or something like that, but you're paying for like a brand
Versace
name.
And Gucci.
Right, you're paying for the brand name at that. But I'm saying if you keep it in the same brand, then that's a different conversation because there's reasons as to why Gucci's going to charge how much they charge besides the name, right? They're gonna say that the quality of the item is a better quality than what you would get from Walmart. That Hanes T-shirt is going to be a totally different cotton than what you would have as a Gucci button up or just a regular ass Gucci t-shirt or whatever. But I'm just saying like a Gucci belt being as much as a Gucci shirt or something like that would just be like, well, damn, it's a belt. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even fully clothe you; it just holds something up. It shouldn't be as much as the shirt, but you know.
Yeah, but if you don't mind, I'm trying to change to one thing. This whole time we've been seeing this cosmic background, and it's funny that the cosmic encompasses all the colors that are available. But we've been seeing this cosmic color background for the controllers, for the headset, and it's just funny that it's actually all the colors that are available for the faceplates. You know, so
yeah. And they called that red one the cosmic red or something like that. And you know, you got your black, so you have the first two controllers that was there. So they were already, I guess they were already planning on throwing all these colors out. I don't know what took them so long though. They could have announced this shit when they announced the cosmic red and the black controller, the midnight black or whatever one.
I think you charge how big. I think the price of something, if you're talking just cosmetic versus cosmetic, is the price. What changes what something's worth is the impact it has on your outfit or whatever it is that you're trying to transform, which is why I think a belt doesn't charge as much as the pants or the shirt do. Like, so if you were just selling clips for your controller, I bet you they would still charge you $20. They'd probably charge you $20 just get like red clips. Like you could pop the clips off and put new red clips on. They'd probably charge you $20 still for that. But if you want to do your whole console, they double it, right? So it's $50. That just makes sense to me because like the impact that the plates are having on a cosmetic sense are massive compared to the impact plates on your controller are making. So I guess that would be my argument, like for your keychain versus a backpack. Like how impactful is that style? People aren't going to pay as much for a keychain because the keychain isn't impacting their brand or their look the same degree that backpack is. The accessory is going to be a big difference for how that impacts, you know, how they are rocking what they're rocking. So that's more so like I think when it comes to like fashion and cosmetics, how we determine value than like what it's made of or what's internally in it. I don't think we ever go by that when it comes to cosmetics.
Well, to each their own for these, you know, if hopefully these aren't one of those things where they're like limited in stock. Hopefully they're just like bountiful and you can get them like wherever and whatnot. Then maybe they'll eventually, you know, you might be able to snag one on sale or
like,
something.
Let me ask you, Stone, see that design you have behind you, that PS4? Like, would you pay $50 if you can get that style hypothetically right here? Now, would that be worth $50 to you?
Would I pay $50 to get this?
Yeah, versus just black or just red?
Or say this, would you pay $50 if you only had a black one to transform it into that one? Would you pay $55? If you just had a regular PS4 Pro and you can upgrade to that for $55.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
Or that too. Like if you had a PS4 Pro and for $50 more bucks, you can get that one you have, that red joint Spider-Man in the back for $50 more.
I would.
It's the same. Sick. It's the same one.
Yeah. So you have this. You have a PS4 Pro. Because I believe that one behind you is a PS4 Pro. So
yes,
you have your regular PS4 Pro. Would it be worth it to spend $50 more? Like let's say you're shopping and you have a PS4 Pro and you have a PS4 Pro Spider-Man edition. You know whatever.
And I pay $50 for the Spider-Man.
Would you? I'll just bring $50 more because I want that Spider-Man one.
Nah. Not just the console. Now, if you're telling me I can get the console and the controller, then yes. $50 for a console and the
I'll
controller.
Phrase it this way.
Same thing.
Does it make more sense to you though? Like, could you understand someone going down the aisle and going, "I'm going to spring $50 for that Spider-Man"? Like that conceptual point.
I mean, I get
it's not a lot more to get a drastic change.
I get people wanting to pay for it and stuff like that because they want, you know, they really, you know, like Spider-Man or whatever. But honestly, like I seen mad PlayStations, you know, before I got this one that, you know, had cool designs and stuff like that. But I never got one. You know what I mean? You see a Slim. Some people feel like they got to get them drastic changes or whatever. But if it's doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool on it. I don't need it. The only reason that I even got this is because I was going from a PS4 to a PS4 Pro, and I had always wanted to get a Pro. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's the perfect time then. I can get this joint right here. It's red. I love red. So, I'll get the upgrade.
No,
but
I know your
other than that,
hey Marcus, let me ask you this. You would pay 30 for that. Would you pay 30 for the upgrade?
Yeah, I'll pay 30 for it. I think that's a reasonable upgrade
so
price.
You just think 50 is too much. You would pay for the upgrade, but
yes, I will pay for an upgrade, 50. But $50 for a faceplate change is too much for me.
What about 40?
40's pushing it, dude. I might be looking for a GameStop $5 coupon or something.
But you see the value. But you see the value in at 30, though, right? You do see value at 30.
I do see it at least at 30, which is why I said I would pay for it at 30. 30 seemed like a reasonable price to switch up how your shit look. Especially if you want me to buy multiples. Like you want me to buy multiples of these console things at 50? I'm thinking the average person might buy one in their lifetime. But if you had them at a cheaper price, I might buy them shits and just change them when my mood change.
Yeah,
like, I'm about to play something hardcore. Let me put the red.
So, like what you're saying right now, we've never really had the ability to just transform the way our console looks unless we bought the new special edition and rebought the whole console over again. This is like one of the first times where we're able to do that. So in the past, if you wanted to have that sweet Spider-Man joint in the back, you'd have to hash out another $400 if you wanted to do that. Now we can just do it for $50. I think that's totally reasonable. And $30 or $50, you are way overpaying the material value on that plastic. So in either way, you're being ripped off. So that's why we never look at cosmetics regardless on the material value. We look at cosmetics and how impactful they are.
Right. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as lube or no lube. I want lube. so charge me 30 for it. Give me the lube and charge me 30. I don't want the no lube price, man. I'm cool on that.
I'm just saying you can't make the material value argument though. Like you can't say, well, like
no,
I can make so therefore, because in either scenario, then we should just be paying $5 for these things, $4.
I can't make the material value argument on that, but I can.
That's all I'm saying.
I can make the argument as to what deems it like valuable. Like I feel like a controller can charge 60 because hell, all the other controllers cost 60. So you add a different color to it, and it's $10 more. Unfortunately, that's what it is.
Marcus, but it's $10 more. In the faceplate's defense, you can't buy faceplates. So this is setting the bar there.
Right.
If you want to look at the third party, the third party is actually more than this. So this comes cheaper than the competitor. And it's
you're counting only D brand. You're not counting Amazon or Etsy. I can find faceplates galore. Amazon motherfuckers is selling the faceplate with the little pieces for the controller and the bundle set for like $10, $15. So this stuff, you know what I mean?
Hey, you must be looking at some cheap ones because I see them for like 20, 30, 40. There's some cool Spider-Man ones for 60.
Even if you paying 30 for it, my guy, you getting the controller piece with it. And if you're paying 30 for it, it's the price that I said. You know what I mean? That I'd be willing to pay. But it just seems like the pricing isn't meant for everybody to go crazy on it. It's meant for like if you just don't want that white one, you could change your thing. But I can't see somebody having a closet with like 3 or 4 extra plates inside of it. I just can't see that.
50 is nothing, dude.
Y'all balling. I'm broke. I'm trying to get like y'all, man, because I want the extra money that I could just blow on some faceplates.
Dude, like I told you in the past, if you wanted to get the cool one like you had in the back, you have to rebuy the whole damn console.
Yeah,
so now you can. So
that's why you would never do it unless you was like that type of person dedicated to like I'ma just hash out the whole $400 and just be collecting shit. You know what I mean?
I know, but what I'm saying is now it's more like the average Joe can become a collector. Now the average Joe can collect all the different styles. For $50, you know, you can get a different style plate. You can do that now where you weren't able to do that before. So I'm saying it's become more affordable. This has made it more affordable for you to have a new console look without having to rebuy the whole thing. Like with
Sure.
the
I
Series X
guess
and that
I
Halo
guess
edition.
if you want to take the look at it as like how much did it cost to have a exclusive console or a limited edition console color, and how much does it cost now? If you want to look at it in that aspect, then yeah, we're doing great. This shit is fucking dirt pennies to what we used to have to do before.
Right,
But
that's what
I'm
I'm
not
saying.
trying to pay them pennies. But let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, man. The next one is the pocket, the analog pocket, right? So it's this new little device right here, this little beauty. Looks just like a Game Boy, like Game Boy Color or
Pocket.
whatever, a Game Boy Pocket. So and this sucker plays quite a few games. So tell us a little bit more about this, Mark.
Yeah, so pretty much out of the box, it's a 600 plus, what is it, pixel per inch screen. It's 1660 by 1440. So although the screen is only 3.5 inches,
Wow, 600 PPI. That's pretty good.
yeah, a little over 600 PPI. So it has a nice screen. It plays over 2,000 games. So it plays all Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games straight out of the box. There's no other equipment needed. But if you buy additional cartridge adapters, you could play Sega, pretty much all
Like the Game
what do you
Gears
call
and
them?
shit, all the
Game
handheld joints.
Gears, Neo, like any like to go handheld game from our childhood, you can play on this device for just a couple extra bucks for getting the adapter. So, and also not only that, but this offers something that no other devices. It's not emulation. You're actually playing on the hardware. So you get true performance. If you put this side by side with the Game Boy, it's responding the same. Not only that, but you can pause. This has a pause feature that other devices didn't have. So you could put it into hibernate, like a sleep mode, and it supports a bunch of other cool things. Micro SD. It has like a lot of developer support. If you want to make games for this, you can. It's just a really cool device that I think it makes collecting retro games even better.
This
So
is like a really dope resolution for this little screen.
oh, and I forgot to tell you one awesome thing. This docks. So you can buy an additional dock and you can play this on a gaming monitor or on a TV up to 1080p. So playing I have a GameCube, I can play games up to 480p Game Boy games, but with this, you could play up to 1080p. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
You could also make music with this thing. Like there's just so many cool features of this, dude. Like I just feel like this is I'm pre-ordering this, dude. And
how much does it cost?
It's $219. So it is kind of pricey. But I just feel like
I think
but it's like the one console to like rule all your old school handhelds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it is
like
pricey.
Play so many variable cartridges is pretty dope.
Yeah, it is really pricey, guys. But if you compare it to like a good condition, like Game Boy SP Advance or the actual games itself, it is comparable because a lot of this old pristine Game Boy Pockets and SPs and the games itself are really overpriced nowadays. So I would say they're able to just capitalize on that.
That's what makes it frustrating to me, is how overpriced the games are to get, which is why this is a little bit of like, I think it's a really cool piece of tech. I think it's gorgeous. I think they've done something awesome here. Honestly, I think they're going to sell a lot of these. I think they're overpriced though. For one, I can get a Switch Lite. So the reason why I think it's overpriced is because the current market for a handheld, for instance, like a Switch Lite is $200. So I'm paying more than I would for a Switch Lite, and I think the Switch Lite is more tech than this, and I can play modern games on it for cheaper than this. But I will say that this does have a niche in the sense that you can actually play the old games. There isn't really too many
all that retro stuff,
to play the retro stuff. So that if this is the only avenue to that, then I mean you got to pay for the price of entry to get into that avenue. But it's so expensive to buy those old GBA games, man. Like,
well, I think you probably have to go to like some. You probably have to go to like some yard sales or something, and come up on something big, or maybe like if they still have those little bins. You know how GameStop used to have those bins of all the like underpriced shit just like piled up in there, and you could just like go nuts. Maybe if there was some store that had something like that. But yeah, I mean now it's starting to become that vintage. So like people are starting to like say, hey, no, there's still value in these old cartridges and stuff like that. And this is just gonna make it so that there's more of a reason to
It's gonna
charge a
make
little
them
bit
more
more for
scarce,
these
dude.
old ass
Yeah,
games.
it's
Like
gonna make the price is just gonna go up on cartridges with this
yeah,
too.
I
That's
seen,
true.
like Pokemon Yellow, Game Boy Advance cartridges going for like, almost like 60, $70 as if it was like
Hey,
brand new
so
or something.
you mean Pokemon Yellow for Game Boy? I
Yeah,
still
yeah,
have a
Game Boy.
copy. I still have a copy in the box. It's like $400 in the box.
Damn, well, yeah, I meant one, huh?
So I'm collecting all the old games that I had. So
Nice.
yeah, dude, they're way overpriced. This is very niche item. Another cool feature is this supports link cables. So you guys remember those old link cables? So it's
Yeah,
just cool. It's very niche. It's very overpriced, but I don't know. It's just something I want to have because I'm trying to collect a lot of the older stuff that I used to have as a kid. So
yeah.
I may not want to put mileage on my old Game Boy and stuff, but I wouldn't mind running this thing to the ground. You know what I mean? Because I don't see this really going up in value, but a Game Boy Advance, Color, all those, those can go up in value over time.
Yeah. Now, if we can only get something that'll mess with this Vita over here, you know what I mean, or this PSP, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I think it's gorgeous. I think they designed it really well. It is very niche. So this is for like a very select audience, and that audience will pay for it. So yeah, they're not trying to sell this to the masses. So it's not necessarily something you try to compare with the standard price, but it's like, oh man, I do think if it was cheaper, they'd sell more of them though. Like if this was 150, 129.99, like think 129.99, like I think you'd sell like a grip of these things. And but once again, there's not really a lot of cartridges to go around for everybody, man. Like that's just but yeah, like nostalgia hits big. Like when I see this, like this nostalgia hits hard, man. Like it
Yeah,
definitely like makes you want to play it because the nostalgia hits so hard. But it's just like unrealistic, for me.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, so let's move on to the next topic, man. And this one I kind of felt was like a big one. Cryptocurrency is booming right now. There's a lot of things going on in this world that are involving cryptocurrency and NFTs and all of that stuff. And there's like the metaverse and all these games that people are creating that you can actually earn money or make money in these things. And it kind of reminds me of like how people used to make money back in like World of Warcraft, like beginning days, the miners and stuff like that, farming all of that material and stuff, and then selling it on some market and like, hey, meet me over here and or like exchange the stuff or whatever. But Peter Molyneux, who is the basically like the creative director or like the head of Lionhead Studios, has come out with like a new game that's supposed to be like an NFT. But this one's kind of interesting. It's like not like a regular game, at least not yet, anyways. But it's basically like he created all these plots of land, and then he's selling all these plots of land, I guess over the weekend. And each of these little pieces of land were bid on and whatnot, and they're going for like crazy prices. I mean, like the title says up there that one was sold for almost nearly 900K. So he accumulated about 53 million in total with these plots of land. But in order to play the game, you need a plot of land. So how do you get with this game? I mean, can you enter the world and just buy stuff? I mean, basically, these people are buy this land, and then once the game is finished enough to give them access, they'll be able to go in there, build a building up, put their brand on there, and put their items on display. So these will be all NFT items and stuff like that. But I'm not sure exactly as to what a gamer like you or I would even be able to do in this world, especially since all the land is gone now. What do you guys think about all this?
I think it's
good, Arachnid.
Go ahead, Mark.
I would say this is all like uncharted territory stuff. I am so surprised that people are willing to drop almost $1 million on a plot of land. That is very shocking to me. but obviously they're taking a big risk, right? They want to capitalize on, their own little marketplace
and the name.
And the name. So, it's a big gamble, because who knows? What if every good game developer we know is starting their own legacy versions? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's to say that those ones will be more popular? Everyone's going to forget about this, except for the guy that spent 900K. I would just, it's hard to swallow. And I'm still learning about all this kind of stuff. So, I'm speculating 100%, but it just seems so risky to me. I would never spend a penny on anything in this crap right now, as of right now. So it's just, dude, it's just surprising that people are dropping this kind of money. So I hope it works out for them. And I think we'll see a lot more of these stories coming soon by other developers that are trying to get their piece of the pie in this way. So,
yeah, I think so. This whole metaverse NFT thing is very interesting. I think it may be it could potentially have. There's a potential for it to be the new frontier, in the sense of the next big cash cow to feed the American public, kind of like the internet was. I mean, someone always seems to invent something, or something always seems to come along. Something always seems to come along that bails us out and creates more wealth for us to continue growing. And we just always continue creating wealth as a society and just keep continuing to rise. The economy just continues to grow, and you think there's a limit, but we always seem to come through with something to create more avenues, more marketplaces. And this is interesting to me, because I think that gaming is here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere. And because of that, this is not as risky as it looks. But I'm partly with Mark. Like, I have a hard time spending that kind of money on something that's virtual and not real. But I do know that gaming is here to stay in a lot of ways. And so I think it's not as risky as it may look. And I also think that Molyneux might be the first big name developer who's announced their own thing. In the metaverse. I don't think any of the big names have. I think all basically off-brand developers, like indie type developers, are the primary ones that have built these metaverses.
Right.
So Molyneux is kind of like the first big one. And I don't know if I agree with Arachnid that it's going to be a bust. Dude, if you can buy, here, listen to this. Think about Fortnite. If you can buy a unique skin that's a one of a kind, and it's an NFT, dude, a lot of people are going to want that. If you have like a marketplace full of like one of a kind, that's a big marketplace.
Yeah,
in my opinion, where people can buy and trade and sell. I think video games are so big right now. I think kids are growing up with video games. I think it's going to become more and more part of society as a societal norm, because kids are growing up with them. So as they become adults, it's going to be normal. Gaming is going to be normal for them. And they're the ones that are coming up, not us. Like the kids who are all the generation, every kid I know, I work in the schools, all the kids are playing video games. Every one of them are. So they're going to grow up. They're going to grow up with video games being an absolute norm. I don't think video games are going anywhere. I think those are massive marketplaces, especially inside the game, and especially buying digital items inside the game. I think are going to be massive. And if they allow people to buy and trade and sell these things, that's a huge market. I believe that's going to be that. I just believe that.
Yeah, I mean, Arachnid said, already rich people will buy this stuff because it's low risk for them. People will buy NFTs to a point. People with average money. I mean, it's true in a sense. I feel like the people with all of the money, right, the liquidity, will be able to go out and purchase these things, just like this dude just goes ahead and purchases 900K, plot of land or whatever. Without batting an eye, probably, for something that has not even been completed. You know what I mean? This is just an idea that's in Peter Molyneux's head. You don't know exactly where it's going. You just know that there's a possibility here. I feel like NFTs will be around for a while, a long, long time, if not permanently from now on, just because of the simple fact that it manages to make poor people rich as well as the rich people getting richer. Like this is just something that you create. you literally create something with a little bit of computer skill or none, with art skill or none. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And if people are behind you, then you can make good money out of this. You can,
it's
you know,
no
make a living with
different.
this.
It's no different than the real world. A
Yeah.
poor person can become rich if you invent an item people want, like the one
Yeah.
guy who invested Post-it notes or whatever.
Mhm.
You were poor until you thought of something people wanted. And when you found
Right.
out something people wanted, you became rich. And this is just another avenue for people to do that. And I think it's an avenue in which is going to stick around. I think the risk, if I was going to address Arachnid, I think the risk is picking the game, is picking the metaverse that will stick. That's the
true.
risk.
Yeah,
So it's
that's gonna
trying
be a
to
tough one.
find the metaverse that will stick, and that's where it will stick. So if Peter Molyneux's game is one that blows up like Fortnite, then that 900K is going to shoot up in value. And
Yeah,
go ahead, Mark.
and that's exactly what I was saying. Other developers, I think that's where the risk lies. Like, for example, we're talking about Fortnite. Let's say Epic made their own metaverse, and Epic is offering plots of land. Hey, you want to buy a plot of land? This land is going to be in every game
That's
that we
just going
have.
like crazy, bro.
You know, imagine that. Like
Yeah.
big companies, big commercial companies, I would assume they're like, oh yeah, McDonald's, let's put up billboards in all your games. We'll give you billions of dollars for that because it's just advertising.
Right.
So I think that this, I think the risk is which game, which area you're gonna buy land in. But I do see this coming forth because Sir Knight made a valid point. All the youngins nowadays, like all my coworkers at work, they're talking about their daughters and kids. They play games so much, and I'm like, that's cool. Your 12-year-old daughter is all about gaming because back when we were kids, people played games, but it was a little more, it was a little more, I guess, nerdy. Now everyone just plays games. It's just a norm. But I would say that more of this is probably going to come. I wouldn't quite like bet on one yet, but like let's say in the future though, MMOs, that would be really cool if everything in your MMO you can buy and sell with crypto. You could subscribe to the game with crypto. You could trade people in this, or if they have their own, let's say gold for World of Warcraft is gold coin or some shit. It'd be cool to use that for subscription. So when you're bartering in the game, it's like, wow, I could just play this game for free if I play my cards right. Because some of my favorite times at MMOs, when me and my brother used to play EverQuest, we started in the year 2000. Me and my brother, we never leveled up high. All we did was go in town and trade and beg people for items. There's a point where my brother there's a point where my brother would ask my dad, hey, can you list these items on eBay? He sold a staff at the age of 9 for over $100 on eBay. So I would say things like this are going to come about. You're going to get items in games one day, be able to sell them, get money in your pocket.
I think NFTs, man, are the coolest idea when it comes to like pushing marketplaces forward. Honestly, like I believe that with all my heart because NFTs are bringing to the virtual gaming world what already exists in the real world. Like when I see Marcus wearing that sweater, like there are literally a finite number of those sweaters. It's not like in the video game world right now, everyone like has the same skins, has like they earn the same things. There isn't really a whole lot of uniqueness.
Right.
Like if you can make it to where people can buy and sell unique things, like I think that's like, and NFTs have made that possible. Where before, it wasn't like that. You just buy, you buy the digital outfit or whatever. There isn't like something unique that you just purchased.
And I mean,
that's so cool to me.
And honestly, like, let's be real, NFTs have been around for a lot longer than this stuff, right? Like, I mean, all of the cosmetics that you purchase in Halo Infinite multiplayer or Call of Duty or whatever, all of those gun skins and stuff like that, all of those are technically NFTs, right? You paid money for those items to get them. Now, if you could take those items and put them back on the market to resell again, now we're talking something different. We're saying that, okay, I pay this $20 for this little skin on my gun, but I can use it for a while, and when I get tired of it, I can put it back on the market. Because there's not so many of them, I can get that money back. And this was
always what I was concerned with when I first jumped into Hearthstone, because I was used to playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and Yu-Gi-Oh is a real world card game where you trade with real people your real cards. And Hearthstone, once you purchase the card, it's just stuck. You can't do anything else with it but play with it. This would allow me. This would allow me to trade other people what I own, and I think that's like huge. This NFT thing has made it so much. Is opened up just a whole new avenue, a whole new market avenue. I think the plots of land thing. The plots of land thing is a little strange, and it might be a tad early, but that's not really that ridiculous. Like I think that's just the next. That's just the next step where you can buy physical portions of that world. I don't see anything wrong with that.
If you
I don't
have
see anything absurd with that about that.
Yeah, especially if you have a business, let's say like you're, Nike or whatever, Nike's getting into NFTs, and you're telling me that maybe this game or whatever Legacy is like some type of a shopping center or something. You go in here virtually, you can go to the stores, buy the stuff you want or whatever. Then I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna make all of my NFTs. So as soon as that shit drops, boom, my store is filled up, and then and I can create that buzz and stuff.
I would say if the first company, my guess, if I had to gamble, is Valve is working on this right now. And the reason why I say that is because all of Valve games, if you buy a skin in Counter-Strike, you can sell it for real money on the Steam store to other people. If you play Dota, all your skins and cosmetics, you can sell and trade to other people. So Valve has been doing this, for almost 10 years. You can even gamble skins on third-party websites with people. But I would say that I bet you Valve is going to start working on, having their own coin or their own crypto. And, you trade that now for skins to buy, instead of buying, Steam bucks, you just buy their cryptocurrency. And now you use it to trade for weapons and all their loot boxes and cosmetics. So, I have a feeling that Valve and Epic, I bet you, are going to be the first to, instead of buying a card at the store that's PSN credit, it's going to be a crypto. You load it into, your account. So this is exciting, but like I said, I don't know too much about it. So we'll see. We'll see what other companies are going to jump into this.
Yeah, and it'll be cool. It'll be pretty cool too if like certain companies like like Epic or Valve or or Sony or Xbox or whatever create like these NFT items and then make them interchangeable amongst all their games. Like you have this, it's on your account, and now this silly suit or whatever, you can wear this in any game that's part of Sony's repertoire or part of Sony's in-house stuff or whatever. So you're able to wear like a ghillie suit that you bought for Splinter Cell or something like that in a game like Halo or something like that, or something crazy, you know what I mean? Like when you start getting to interchange these things all throughout these games on like all of their platforms and stuff, then it's really going to be worth a whole lot. It's going to be crazy, man. But that's interesting, Arachnid, that girl had a clothing store in Second Life. I mean, I knew all that stuff, selling all those pieces and stuff like that in some of those large MMO games was worthwhile, but I didn't know you could do some shit in Photoshop and be able to like plaster it onto your character. That's pretty dope. So she was already ahead of her time on that one. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know like how Total Racket's other comment, he says, I just don't think the metaverse being a place people go to hang out is plausible. I think that video games are a place people go to hang out. I mean, I think that's what people do when they play Warzone. I think that's what people do when they play Fortnite. They're going to hang out with their friends. Yeah, if you mean just like a place to like sit and talk and chat, yeah, maybe it won't be like that.
But they had Chat VR and that was booming.
They did have Chat VR and that was booming. But I'm just saying, like, I think like I've said before, it depends on the game, depends on the type of thing we're talking about. But I think that will happen. And I think like when you think about, let's think just like what Mark or I said, think about Fortnite. Imagine if they sold you a portion of Fortnite, a plot of land in Fortnite, how much money you could make off that plot of land. Like, and that would be very profitable. Yeah, it's not going to be profitable forever. I mean, not even real world property is profitable forever. So I mean, like everything dies, but it's just another avenue of investment. It's just another avenue of places people can actually buy and trade something that didn't exist before. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, what I would actually like to see, I might have to talk to Chat VR or whatever. But like, why isn't there a virtual reality tabletop game? Like, why isn't there like an area where you can go into a room, have like your friends come in, and then you guys are all playing VR on like this table. You can play like whatever board game they have, and you're just able to play your game in there, but you're at your house. You know what I mean? That would be pretty sick.
I just don't know if the technology is there yet for that, but I know what you're talking about. I just think, like, yeah, let's sit and wait. Right, let's sit and wait. But I think if we sit and wait, we'll just see. Video games aren't going anywhere. They're just going to go bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're just become more and more integrated within our lives. They're going to be more and more integrated.
VR.
It's going to become more and more natural to just spend money on virtual things. I honestly believe that. Like, it's going to become more and more natural. It's not going to be stigmatized. It's not going to be weird. It's going to become more and more natural tabletop simulator. You played that, Mark.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I didn't know they had a VR one, so I'm gonna have to.
I didn't know VR either.
I didn't know it was VR either. Yeah,
that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is. But yeah, so on to the very last topic we have, and it's about Tencent. It looks like they have just acquired Turtle Rock Studios, which are the people who just created that game Back 4 Blood. I thought this was interesting because Tencent seems to just steady be buying people up, man. Like they keep on adding to their arsenal, and Tencent is getting so damn big now. It's pretty nuts. Like, were you guys shocked to hear about the Back 4 Blood developers getting snatched up?
Absolutely.
I personally was. I thought Microsoft would potentially go after them, but Tencent obviously has the resources for it. Tencent owns Riot, they own Epic, they own a little bit of Ubisoft, they own a little bit of Activision Blizzard. They own a stakes in a lot of things. So I just think that I thought Microsoft would scoop them up first, but Tencent has the money for it, so that didn't surprise me.
Especially when they put them on Game Pass, you know what I mean? Like, think like that's
they
how it goes.
Game Pass. I thought that was going to be the path.
This is foreboding to me, man. Like, I do not like China. I'm just not a fan of China, for one, and I think that they're a menace on the world stage, and I think that they are they hate freedom. And I think you can see that in the way that they treat their people and the way that everyone approaches them with censorship. They're the biggest country, like, when it comes to censorship to their people. There's so many things that those people can't do. And I feel like Tencent, they lure people in with this junk right here, right? Look, this is what Steve Goldstein, the general manager and president of Turtle Rock, said. He said that while allowing us to retain our autonomy and independent spirit, I think that that's the biggest fear everyone has when it comes to being owned by a China-based company, where China's government literally has a hand in
getting dictated.
And that's not like here in America, where the government has no hand in any of the American-owned companies. They are autonomous. That's not like it is in China. And I think they tell them this until they don't. Yeah, this is true until it isn't true. And I just think, like, it's just a matter of time before the tables turn and they own you. Right? So they can do what they want with your company and with your IPs. And that's just like, I just don't think I would really ever want to sell to a China-owned company who the Chinese government has a hand in their inner workings. And it's like Arachnid said, China has a hand in almost everything. And that's just scary for me in the notion of our video games. At what point are our games going to be censored? What are people not going to be allowed to make? And what impact will this have on just future gaming in general? I wish Microsoft bought them. I way wish Microsoft had done that. I think it's going to be hard to beat the deep pockets of China, though, man. It's going to be really hard. So I don't know. I was not happy to hear it at all. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting to hear this. And I wasn't happy to hear it either. So.
For sure. So, I mean, I guess we'll have to see what's in store for Tencent in the future, you know, especially, Turtle Rock or whatever the company's name is, to see what they create and see exactly how they're like working and maneuvering with this new company looming over their head.
They see that big bag of money on the table and they just sign.
Yeah.
You know, which makes sense, right? Because it's a big bag of money, but you don't know who you're really selling yourself to.
Yeah, and then most of the time, a lot of them will stay for they probably was like a contract where they have to stay for like a year or two after the deal, and then after that, then they'll quit and then they'll branch off and then go and make another, Turtle Rock or whatever, and they'll just start over again. You know, they got paid big bucks, so it's like nothing to start over again. They did it once, they can do it again. You know, so
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, that's it. That's all the topics that we have for you guys this week. We appreciate everybody for stopping in and sitting with us and chopping it up. Christmas is right around the corner, man. It's like next week. And then it's the end of the year. So basically, the next video is going to be the top 10. So we're going to break that off into 2 videos. We'll drop those around the next week around the same time, and then of course the week after, just to give ourselves a little break. But yeah, we'll give you guys our top 10 of the video games for 2021. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, man, until next week, we'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
Peace.
See ya.
I love you, me.